All right, good morning, everybody. It's March 5th, and we'll call it Here's Your Dark Pool Report. I know this is a little bit late. It's been a busy weekend. I've had a sick kiddo and stuff with me. Um, but I'm up early. Here I am giving you, well, I can't say I'm up early. I guess I'm working early um, to bring you all this video. And I know the flush into the market or into the close yesterday um, brought a lot of potential concern to people. Potentially, like, what's if the market's gonna pull back from here? And I can't deny this isn't the greatest looking candle that's right there. But I thought this would be a good time to bring y'all what the dark pool is saying about this recent price action, and then how we can um, plan for it. Also, not to be that guy, but stick around to the end of this video, and then I'll obviously show you one trade setup that is looking pretty good, and this is a setup that is based on technicals and dark pool order flow. Um, but before we go into that, we'll just talk about the last little trade that we talked about on the last dark pool report which was gold, right? If you if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and just check it out on the channel, obviously, about what I was saying about gold before the breakout happened. But in a nutshell, as you can see, I wanted to trigger long right here at 38.75 after having these dark pool prints right here at 38.50-ish. So it's kind of interesting, right? I had my trigger long at 38.75, which is right where we opened and pulled back on. But I wanted to close above it in order to go long. So gold looks great to the upside, however you want to slice and dice. It has this little flag breakout type of thing that's breaking out to the upside here. There is basically this, I guess we could call it a dirty ascending triangle breakout type of thing, or maybe even a wedge that's breaking out in gold. You can just see it's breaking the highs, right? And that's ultimately what matters. And we also know that the dark pool is buying it. For me personally, I did not chase it up here. I can't chase it up here. But there is volume coming in. The breakout in the larger time frames look great. So me personally on gold, I'm just waiting for a pullback in IAU, and I'll probably grab some GLD and then take it to the upside. But it is now triggering to the upside, and that's all based off of the dark pool, and that was because we saw this, I guess I say I saw this really large print coming around here, which caused the flush. I wanted to get above it and above this next level here and look for it to go to the upside. And so now it's happening. So all that in a nutshell, I think gold still looks great. Now we just have to wait for the pullback to grab some of it. All right, now let's talk about a few other things. This video right here is mainly going to be structured around a few things I'm going to talk about. I'll talk about the dark pool activity that's happened in the SPY, the Qs, IWM, and the Diamond, which is the Dow Jones, and then we'll cover the VIX, and then I'll cover the trade setup that I'm liking that is occurring right now. So let's go ahead and get started on it. So the market did have a pretty good flush yesterday into the close, and let me make this bigger. I'll just go down to the 30-minute chart. And you see right now that we're down a little bit on the day. I want to crunch this. So yesterday's flush, yesterday's dark pool activity, anyways, is how I should word it. There was only 2.2 million shares that occurred yesterday. And you see that basically what they were doing is it was hitting the tape yesterday at this level that we had to end up getting below it. If you draw a line across, what does that mean? Yes, or day before yesterday, they were selling into the pop, and it's getting reported into today. So I'll be curious to see where the price action is unfolding today. Basically, what was happening around this zone. So it'll be interesting to see. But all that being said, the dark pool has not shown any signs that they're selling in the SPY yet. Because 2.2 million is not a big deal, especially for the SPY. It's pretty liquid, and anything I try to look for a few days of greater than 10 million prints basically on this level, and that's all the way down here. And even if we did move lower, it has this level of support to get through first, and then we'll come down to these larger ones. So all that being said, there's no crazy or large amount of selling occurring in the SPY yet. So all in all, it looks like just a normalish pullback and slow drift lower. So nothing crazy there. And then the Qs, it's down quite a bit. We came down to, it looks like the 30-minute 200. But yesterday there was only 1.2 million. So the queues, I like to see about 4 million of late prints to signify a significant amount being done. And hold on, I just heard overfilled. Sorry, I'm trading some futures over here. Okay. Um, it's always good when you hit your profit target, right? Let me adjust my stops a little bit. Okay. Now, all right. All right, so continuing on. There was only 1.4 million, like I mentioned, and then there's some levels down here, and I wanted to use this as an example. So there's nothing heavy being sold in the queues as of yet, but I will say there was a lot of phantom prints that came in at a lower amount or lower price levels. So those are basically going to be targets. Let me show you what I mean. I've noticed over the course of maybe 2 weeks, I've noticed a lot of lower price targets of phantom prints happening. And if that is, and if you don't know what phantom prints are, they are basically, well, it's freezing on me. Okay, but what they are basically is prints that go across the tape that are outside the bid and ask, and they're usually targets. I'll have to find the video of like where I was. I I won't say but I had a big target on the downside before the bear market occurred. And believe it or not, that's right down to where we came in the bear market, and then we started to bounce from there. But I'll have to find the video to show you that. And it's all based off of phantom prints or whatever you want to call them, really. Um, People always put their little spin on whatever you want to call them, but that is what they are. And I'll show you what I mean. But Black Box Stocks has this really nice way how you can scan for them. And the reason I'm showing you this is because it'll paint a clearer picture what I'm talking about. Come on. There we go. All right, so what exactly is this? So basically, you see across the time and sells window was a fill for 394.42 when the Qs are up at 443. So in a nutshell, what usually happens with this when they're not matching, a lot of times we hit these targets and we bounce, but not everyone gets hit. And I have a theory as far as what this means, but that's for a whole other topic or discussion. But they're typically um, targets and where we start to go. So all that being said, I like to correlate it with more. I can't just see the prints and go chasing them. I personally need to see some large selling occur from the late prints. But all that being said, it hasn't there hasn't been enough late prints to say we're going to go to those targets. Now, if we start to get those late prints, then I will, or sorry, yeah, those late prints that say the selling's come in, then I will start to look for those areas to be in targets. But just to kind of give a quick overview of how it works, and I thought the Qs painted a pretty clear picture for me. And if you didn't know, these late prints actually act as support and resistance. So here's an example of one where there was greater than 4 million late prints here. We got the flush lower, then we got a rally. Hit this print, stalled, and we got back below here, and then look, another 4 million late print, and we came all the way down, kissed this print level, and then there was 4 million right here, and that's what caused the rally. And once you get above this level, because there's two, see, we came above, we came back down, retested them, and then we've been going up since. And so the reason for discussing this is because if I need to see larger prints come in to suggest that the lower move is going to happen, similar to like this one happened here, we got that move. This one happened right here, we got that move. Now this one happened right here, but we got above it, caused that move. And then they also, like I said, a support as resistance. And so, in a nutshell, I'm wanting to see the late prints come in or a large amount of late prints come in to suggest a downward move is coming. However, as of right now, it is not there, but we'll see what happens at the end of the day, really. And so actually, I want to, now that I mentioned that, let me show you something. Since I said at the end of the day, it really depends what happens. I know I have a bunch of different like social medias, like there's Instagram and all this stuff. To be quite honest, Twitter is honestly just much more easier to connect with people. And so what I want to do is, if you haven't already, oh look, I got my man Taylor already out there doing things. Um, Go give me a little follow, and it's Active Profits. Act of Profits. Go ahead and give me a little follow, and then I'll, if anything heavy comes out, I'll tweet it, and then that way you'll have it immediately right when it happens. So if you don't mind, go show some love. All right, so there's the cues. IWM didn't have anything either. Um, Nothing significant suggesting the downside as well. And the IWM is a little rare, but the most rare of all is the diamonds. And that being said, they do have some recently coming in. Usually the days go by where the diamonds don't have any prints at all, and all of a sudden, several days in a row, we're having some pop up. But I don't look. I need to see at least about a million late prints go across the diamonds to look for some type of move, but it's almost like they're scaling in or scaling out, however you want to look at it, because there's like so it's 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, so that's 4 days in a row. That usually never happens. Like if you look at my chart, like nothing's all over the place because they're not as active in it, but there is some happening in the last 4 days. And so if we do start to break below these levels, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start watching the VIX. And what I mean by the VIX is you'll see prints come in usually when there's going to be a pullback or something like that. You'll see it's so order. I would say dark pool reading, tape reading, things like that is more of an art versus a set like black and white thing. You have to have it is an art where you have to see money's flowing out of here, but money's flowing into there. Like what's this whole picture say? What's the price action say? Things like that. Actually, let me stop this before it makes it go forever. But what I do want to show you is this. I'm going to zoom in here on the VIX, and I'm going to go to, how about just a 10-minute chart? Because I want to show you what's happening right now and what I want to look for into the future if the diamonds do start to break below those levels that I just showed you. Okay. So I'm going to zoom out here. Black Box Stocks has this really cool thing where they have volume profile, but it's based just off of the dark pool action. So what I want to do is draw your attention to these bars. So if you draw a line across, some large dark pool transactions occurred right here, and we move lower. Cool. But now that we're down here and we've been basing, there is some accumulation of the VIX here. And so like, why is that important? Because institutions, they don't want to sell their long positions. They just want to hedge for the down move. So if I'll just put an M for the market, if the market goes down, the VIX usually goes up. And they don't, like I said, they don't want to close their long position, so they hedge the down move by going along the VIX. So right now, it looks like potentially some hedging is occurring, and it looks like I may want to do the move back up, and then obviously up here about 15 will be a level worth watching again. And there's no duration of how long a pullback may unfold, but what I do know is that it is looking like there's some accumulation down here, and that the move may happen. But all that being said, like I mentioned, if to paint the whole picture together, if the diamonds start to get below these levels right here, so basically 389, we start to break down, we're going lower. If that starts to happen, I'm going to start looking for VIX prints to come in to suggest that hedging is occurring for the down move. And like I said, I will tweet that. I'll even put out how many dark pool prints came out and whatnot at the end of the day. But that is the whole picture that I'm looking to see unfold. So we talked about the VIX, the diamonds, which is rare, and a bunch are occurring right now in the diamonds, the Qs, the SPYs, IWM, cool. Now it's just time for your free little trade idea. Like I said, this one isn't overly large in depth. video, being a little bit more patient, so there's no reason to go full ham on a bunch of crazy things. But what I am watching is actually Carr. I've been watching this go across the tape a lot. And I'll show you what I mean. And it's kind of rare when it happens. So this is the prints that have occurred over the last few weeks. And what I like to do is organize it by percent of its 30-day average volume. And what I really pointed out to is, look, usually you don't see transactions of that size occur in a stock. It just doesn't happen. But there is quite a bit. And for me, there's a little bit more to the trading. For me, I don't just see prints and chase it. I like to see a pattern or a technical setup, if you will. But I do like the setup that is occurring right now in Carr based off of the dark pool action and the setup. So if you look at it here on the weekly time frame, we do kind of have this like really large cup and handle type of breakout that's occurring here. That's bigger time frame, so that is great for the bullish scenario. Now let's go ahead and go over to the daily scenario. Come over here. I like how we have this bear flag. And something that I have boxed out here that is worth watching is I boxed out where all these transactions occurred in the gray box right here. So what exactly does this mean? If we look at the weekly time frame, it does have this cup and handle feel for it, and then we are in the bull flag portion of the handle, right? Which is right here. And so a bull flag formation, you have a swing high, you have a consolidation, and then the trigger long is on the break here. And what you like to see on the break is an increase in volume. So that's when I look right here. And you see all this volume that is occurring. I have these volume labels right here that tell me all the way up to the average 4-day amount of volume. We're at 233%. And this box right here is all where the dark pool action has occurred. So to really explain how that happened or how this played out is dark pool right here got into, let me get a different color. The dark pool got into position right there, right here on this first candle, and then scaled in some more. And then the breakout is occurring, and then got in some more right here, and some more right here. So the dark pool is getting into position on this push higher. Me personally, I don't want to get long here, but I do like it for the setup. I want to see, usually when there's a breakout, there's a pullback, right? A pullback, I call it price acceptance, is really when the breakout occurs. It's going to come down, probably retest this 50-day SMA. I would like to see it close maybe like on a hammer candle or something like that, and it breaks that high. That's the trigger long. But I don't want to chase it up here. I would like to see it come back. It doesn't have to come back like that. I just want a quick test, bam, and then you take it to the upside. So I'll probably keep an eye on it. But I do like how the dark pool got into position after the breakout. It got into position before, and it has a very clean technical pattern as well. And there was also some option order flow as well going on with it, but that's for a whole other discussion. But this is the trade setup I'm liking. And also, so I'll leave y'all with one last thing. If you're enjoying to see me use black box stocks and it's something you want to try out yourself, in the link tree link that's in the description of this video, if you go there, there is a link there. If you sign up under that link right there, yes, I do get a little bit of a commission. Nonetheless, it's either they get it or I get it. But if you're finding this video or these little videos I'm doing helpful, you do get a 20% discount on your first month if you do the monthly subscription. But if you do the annual, you actually get you pay for 10 months, then you get 2 months free. So if this is something you're interested in and you want to show me a little love, I feel like I keep saying that, feel free to sign up under that link if that's something you're interested in, like I said. But this is what I've been using to find all my scanning. But also tell me in the comments below, do y'all know how to use the dark pool stuff? Just curious. Maybe I should make a video on how I use the black box stocks to find these type of setups. But that's all I have for y'all. Y'all have an awesome rest of y'all's day. Enjoy your week. And like I said, go follow me on Twitter and I will show you, or I won't show you, but if I see any heavy print or dark pool action come in, I'll tweet it so everyone can be prepared and put on the hedges if needed. But have a great day, everybody, and catch y'all later.